Yeah.
I'm good.
Secret House.
Ooh.
Yo, Secret House Against the World. Welcome back. Tokyo Hip Hop Art and Culture, album reviews and discussions. It's me and Jet. We also here with my man Scott Popular. Me and Scott Popular putting together an event that's going to be occurring next month called Black Home Depot. Pay attention to that. It's going to be some real underground weird shit. Maybe invite only. I don't know. It might be secret. We'll see how it goes.
We got you.
Yeah. But today we got like, subscribe, hit the
Comment,
bell for
Patreon,
notification.
all that good shit.
Patreon. We got this one. This one next up is by Kari Faux. It's called Real Bitches Don't Die. 13 songs, 37 minutes on her own imprint. Low key superstar. We should give a shout out to Noname for putting us on the game for this. I wanted Scott here because he's one of them good old Southern boys too, so I had to reach out. I threw out the popular signal in the night sky, and he came through. And a little bit about Kari Faux. She started her own independent label because she was taking all the financial risk without any label support, so she signed herself. Shout the fuck out. I love to hear that. Do it independent. You got this. And there was not a single damn review or anything on this album online. I actually found that information because I was Googling trying to figure out how to pronounce her name correctly.
Damn shame.
and it is a damn shame. So I'm excited to get into this one. I hear the popping now a little bit, Jet, too, just on and off, but I think we're still good with it. But what I like to do whenever we discuss an artist who might be very underground for people or may that we haven't discussed before, I like to talk about how we know this artist and how we're familiar with them. So one of you guys want to go first?
You want to get it, Scott?
Yeah. I'll jump in there. All right, so Miss Faux, Miss Kari Faux. Now, I do know her because Kari Faux was on that. Kari. Excuse me. Kari. I'm going to get your name right, child. Kari Faux was on the Pivot Game, the Mortal Kombat track.
Oh, that joint where Saba goes off.
Yeah. She goes off on it too. I mean, man. Like they all go off. So I've known about this young lady before, and she is extremely attractive in a little package, and she drops some hot shit. Yeah. So I knew about her beforehand, and just knowing this little bit about her saga, and that like she couldn't find a company to back her, she decided to do it herself. You go, girl. You do that. Do it for the South. So hell yeah, that's how I know her.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm a casual fan. I think I got put onto her by the Open Mic Eagle, Anime Trauma and Divorce. She's on the track Buchiarati, who's named after a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character.
Yep.
She put out a record around the same time, maybe a little before, called Low Key Superstar, which is now her imprint. I believe that was released on Don Giovanni, which is a punk label, which I thought was kind of dope.
Hey.
I'm a fan. I'm a casual fan.
I am too. I heard her on the Pivot Gang. I heard her on the Open Mic Eagle. I heard her on Isaiah Rashad's Son's Tirade. She's been around a lot of incredibly talented artists throughout her career. Yeah. And it was surprising to me that for that reason that this album wasn't getting a lot of notice on mainstream sites or your pitchforks or anything of that.
Because they some suckers.
Apparently they all trash and they all whack, but that's why we like y'all to tune in to Secret House, because we trying to put it down for the independent artists. Let's go ahead and get into the damn album.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Now, I like to go ahead and preface off saying that, like, this is not necessarily something that's traditionally in my wheelhouse. This is not a really music that I don't actively participate in these type of communities where this music usually slaps. Most of the time when I'm listening to like real street shit, it's either real throwback nostalgic from when I was a kid, like picking up Outkast, ATLiens at the Virgin Megastore or wherever it was in the 90s, or being in the Bay Area during the beginning of the hyphy movement. And I was actually in the South. I was in Texas before Swisher House blew up. So we was getting those tapes like with printed out at not even Kinko's, you know what I mean? They printed out at the 7-Eleven, wherever it was. But I am, because I was in those places, and I don't listen to pop like rap music or popular rap music. I don't know if this album is necessarily similar to other artists, but what really caught me and really made me feel like this shit is super dope, besides some of the deeper messages she talks about that are important, is that there's a large variety of sound. And to me, even a kind of an outsider for a lot of it, I hear a lot of homage to different parts of the South. You hear like a UGK, like an organized noise type of sound. You hear some like newer, you know what I mean, and like some Sleepy Brown type of shit. And when I put it on, I was like, okay, I was not expecting this. Real Bitches Don't Die, the title track, the first track, I was like, that's a beautiful, dope opener. And then she going off with the lyrics too. Before I leave my mortal coil, lather me in cocoa oil, wear my heart on my sleeve, where the fuck is yours hiding yours, or whatever she say. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, life in Los Angeles is plastic, and I'm glad you got out of there. But that motherfucking beat on H-Town, I was like, okay, this shit is hard. This shit is hard. I got to play this loud. I got to take the headphones off and put this on as loud as the house will allow me. Yeah, I like the album. I actually quite enjoy this album all the way through.
Sure. Yeah, likewise. I appreciate that we're moving into this phase where even, more quote unquote popular rap, I don't know if I want to call this popular music in the sense that like apparently like it's not getting the appreciation, respect it deserves. Shouts out to Noname for shining a light on it for us. But it's like kind of weird as well. Yeah. It's even though it has a lot of trappings of, something you might expect to hear coming from the South in 2023. It's also like a little even psychedelic in places. Oh yeah. It bounces between genres, but it is still quite cohesive. There is like a general sense that the beats and stuff are very like full and heavy. And, her vocal delivery on top, is smooth, but it also hits like pretty hard at the same time. I enjoyed this record a lot. I found this like generally a very pleasurable listen. This is another hit for me.
I mean, I can tell you right now, an album like this, a project like this, a person like this comes from the trees of the Carolinas, the mountains of Tennessee, and then the valley where Georgia is, right there on Stone Mountain. There's a whole lot of soul in this, and there's a whole lot of space age pimping in this. The only group that you didn't say,
space age pimping, the
only group that you didn't say was 8 Ball and MJG. That's the one you left out.
Yeah, I was gonna get.
You gonna get to it?
Okay.
Yeah. But like, I was like, whoa, she is a project of that era. Like, I know she's listened to it, and I appreciate it, and I just need more of it. Yeah. But let's go back to the video. Me first. I don't know if you guys actually went back and watched the video.
I didn't watch. No. I'm not good. You
don't watch videos?
I barely get to videos.
It's a part of the product now.
Yeah, that's true. True that.
And like I
watched her on the Color Show.
You watched her on
the Color Show? Where they rap in the room with the colors, and she was wearing some real fly shit.
Right.
Yeah, she has a plaid swimsuit with bikini shorts.
Yeah, she has a sense of humor. But she embraces her womanhood. She keeps it sexy, but keeps it hood at the same time. And that's the kind of woman I like, and I want you to keep doing that. And there is one thing, and this is not a complaint to her, but this is a complaint to Spotify. On the song Turning Heads.
With Big Crit.
With Big Crit on it, right? The lyrics go, what, hoo, right? And they just write O-O-H, O-O-H, and they don't get the references. Like, that's supposed to be an owl going back to Outkast and Hootie Hoo.
Yep. You can't never rely on the caption, dog. Like me, I always put on closed caption, and every time I watch a hood movie, they got the hard ER on the end bombs. I'll be like, ugh. That's like, this is, yo. Like
when you go to karaoke out here as well, they always hit you with the...
Yeah, you gonna rap some Kendrick Lamar at karaoke, you're gonna be dropping some hard ERs in that. Yeah. It's wild. And that's, hey, I'm not gonna say that black folks don't read, but I feel like if more black folks read the captions, we'd be more of an outcry about that shit. You know what I mean?
Fix that.
Because I've been saying that since I was like a kid. Like, damn, like, yo, I'm trying to watch Menace to Society here and I feel attacked. But yeah, man, those are things that I really enjoy about this album. Is kind of the rich. She embraces that kind of like rich tradition of the South, and basically she even saying like all the babies born below the Mason-Dixon line. And I think that there's like the variety of production is real nice on this shit, and there's a lot of like empowerment of what like not just empowering herself, but trying to empower her peers and doing shit herself, growing up, navigating difficult relationships, her belief in God, and the rich attention to her roots and the roots of blackness in those areas. And even though there's a lot of religious themes on here, which I'm not, I see a lot of things on this album that really speak to me because I'm an outlier in my family. My sisters grew up going to black churches. My nephew played the drums in the church, and it's like on the song like "Drunk Words, Sober Thoughts," which is a really dope beat. It sounded like some Thundercat shit, some real kind of like psychedelic, could be like Fly-Lo type shit. And she's like, "Yo, this is for gangster bitches that need forehead kisses." It's just a really dope song addressing how like young black women and girls, for that matter, are kind of pushed into this having to bring themselves up and having to learn how to self-soothe. And like Kari, like, my sister is 12 years older than me, and she had her first son when she's 15. So I got a nephew who is like 4 years younger than me. You know what I mean? And I think when I hear that and I hear about her not always wanting to be hard and wanting to have like a soft space and not always having to want to wear her armor, it speaks to me even as a male, because I see that in my sister, and I see that in my homegirls when they was young. Like I remember my homegirl Cricket was the most hard down chick that you could possibly come across. She fights dudes, and like when you get close to her and you see that armor comes down, she's a really sensitive person, and really she's a type of person that needs that forehead kiss, but she had to put on that because she's been in that, you know what I mean? And I just there's a lot of aspects to this album that address things that black women and women in general in the United States face, but particularly black women, that it just is really dope and speak to me. Even when it's not on some woke shit, when she on there with Devin the Dude, they just like, dog, I'm like, yeah, I feel you. Like, I'm not mad at you at all. You
popular fist went up. The popular fist went up.
And shout out to Devin the Dude. I grew up on Devin the Dude, and I'm always down for some real, some real pimping. Yeah. But, even though I recognize that that's like an aspect of culture that I don't necessarily want to champion, it is good telling of a different type of perspective. And it's dope. Like I don't listen to Cardi B. I don't listen to Meg Thee Stallion, and that's not because anything against them. I don't listen to Nicki Minaj either. It's just that's like, I know that popular kind of music aesthetic is not somewhere I'm going to be listening to it. I don't go to the clubs no more. Ain't no strip clubs out here really. And it's just like, I just don't be in it like that. But with this, there's more than just this hypersexuality of her being like an object and selling sex to the kids or selling a sex product. It's deeper and denser than
no
what
time
you would
did
think.
I ever feel like that she was an object. I felt like that she was definitely a part of the situation, and this was her take on the situation, and this is her delivery, and this is her story. And I think she did a fantastic job.
Me First is another example of that.
I mean, I've always been like a proponent of, you have to like practice radical empathy if you're going to have like a radical politic. Right? The number one political concern has to be like empathy for your fellow man, fellow woman, right? And this record at its best is absolutely like a reflection of that. There's a love that kind of permeates the entire record, even when she's like directly on her UGK shit, or her like
Gemini got a lot
gangster
of
trip shit, I think I said White Cadillac earlier, White Caprice, which is
shout out to Gangsta Boo,
rest in peace Gangsta Boo.
Rest in peace, Gangsta Boo.
It's still like comes from this place of like real like empathy and kind of it's very genuine, and that's probably one of the most striking things about this record is the authenticity of the whole thing. It doesn't feel like trying to adhere to like the trappings of what is expected from like a southern rapper. Also we're all fans of Afrofuturism here. I really appreciate this is like Afro retrofuturism. Like this is like Black Star Wars in places. You know, it's got like this kind of old veneer of, well, more like mid 90s to it, I guess. But at the same time, you know, there are these like electronics and these this lushness to all of the production that gives it this very kind of futuristic sensation.
I think the person producing most of the album is a person named Felix. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. It's PH.
I think it's Phoenix.
Yeah, like Phoenix, but licks. And that song in particular, you know, White Caprice with Gangster Boo, again, rest in peace. There's like a poem in the beginning of that where she kind of lays the shit out. But the beat, that one in particular, sounds like some real old classic organized noise shit. It's got that kind of. It reminds me of a different time, but it's modern.
Caprice is what you need to do this, because like Caprice, the reason why you get a Caprice is because of the trunk space.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard to put 12s in an Escort, but if you get a Caprice, those are old police cars. You're good to go.
Yeah. And you can fit some 12s in like a Cutlass, but you know what I mean. But the point is, like,
it's gonna rattle the shit out of your frame, though.
It feels like a new iteration of something nostalgic. You know, it feels really like that. That poem, if I could just give a couple lines off it, because I did write a couple lines of it, man. She says, "Peace to the black babies born below the Mason-Dixon. That twang in your diction don't make you less gifted. Be grateful, steadfast, and persistent. Our ancestors made 4 ways out of no way, so let's stick to tradition. May God's grace cover you like an oak tree in the hottest day. I pray the air in your tires never deflate, you keep your gas hand above a quarter of a tank in whoever's name you pray." I'm not a religious cat, but even I was feeling like, man, I need to pray. She got money angels. I need to come up on some money angels.
Hell yeah, church lady freaks.
Yeah, you know. But this is considering the features that she had on other albums that I heard her before, and what she brought to the table here. I'm expecting to hear new and vibrant things from her in the future. I'm all on board, just like I am with like Tara Whack. I want to see the creativity of these black women in hip hop culture, and I hope she is successful as she want to be, because she got all the talent. Yeah, I'm with it, man. I rate this album very high, and I think that even if you are not a black person from America or any of the things, if you're not black at all, like there's in that radical empathy, Jed, it's something you can read through. All art is trying to communicate with you. And if you look at it and say, oh, people just, you know, they're talking about booty shaking and shit. If you read through the material conditions that these people come from, and the lineage of different cultural aspects, like believing in being a gem, like your horoscope and Christianity, like these things, you could read through all of these things ideologically and find a lot of gems in what she's dropping. And I forwarded this to my niece Denise. Her real name Destiny, but yeah, my niece Denise, because you know they live out there in H-Town, and I've got a lot of love for H-Town and shit, but also a lot of disdain. Like I told y'all, my nephew got shot 5 times in H-Town a few years ago, and thankfully, you know, the government will pay if you're a part of violent crime, a victim of violent crime, and they pay for it, and he living fine and doing well now, and they still out there in H-Town. And despite all my kind of disdain for the type of violence that happens in those communities, I really like to rep that. You know what I mean? Like there's a rich and beautiful tradition of art that upwells out of those areas, and I'm here for it. Kari Faux is grabbing all of those influences from the South and packaging into something new and interesting for the youth, and particularly an alternative to some of the other voices coming from women in the black community.
What? I didn't fuck with Dog. I'm not gonna lie. That's the one track on the album I was
Devin?
like,
why?
Yeah. I mean, I love Devin the dude,
argument.
and like
we about to have a big ass argument, Jay.
I like Devin the dude. You could have had Sugar Free or Bruiser Wolf on there as well. Like whatever, it's on some pimp shit.
Devin,
like you know, I'm a dog because I'm always chasing the pussy. Like I don't know, man. Those analogies just always kind of gross me out, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
like,
true.
I fuck like everybody else, but like, man, I don't know. The animal shit is a bit much for me.
I could hear Spade complaining about what is the one, Past Life, where Felix is it's the one where just thank you, I think is what it's called. Yeah. I could hear Spade being like, why would he sing? He can't sing. But I'll tell you what, I like some poor singing better than auto-tune singing, and I like that.
That's true. Dog is amazing. Okay, sexual relationship facts. Okay, you lay with dogs, your ass is gonna get fleas. That's all there is to it. And she's just saying like, hey man, I know this, and I just keep this dude the fuck. That's just about it. I'm not expecting him to like wife me up or do anything else or wash my dishes or make me, I don't know, ricotta, cottage cheese, lasagna, nothing like that. I know what this dude is. I've acknowledged it, and I'm gonna move on. And at the same time, I'm gonna take a couple of these little tricks, and I'm gonna use them my damn self. You know why? Because I'm a human, and I see him getting over it. And I do the damn same thing.
Vehement advocate for women's sexual agency. My path into leftism came through feminism. I considered myself a feminist before I considered myself a Marxist or a socialist or a leftist in any capacity. I'm fully in support of all of that, but that analogy just grosses me out, man. I can't do it. Like,
you've never been a dog, Jet.
I got that dog in me. If that's what you're talking about.
It might be a generational.
But it can't be. You know why?
Yeah.
Because Kari Faux was born in 1992.
What does that have to do with anything?
We're the same age, so if it's generational, she gets it, I don't, and that's fine. But nah, sorry, man.
I don't mind it.
As analogies,
you got pimping like Kool-Aid when you was young. That's what
I don't mind it. Another track that I wanted to talk about, Past Life.
Yeah.
That beat is so dope. It reminded me of like some 80s Force MDs, Tender Love type of vibes.
There you go.
You know who I could hear on that? Like, we got a cat called The Mind singing on that. I would have liked to hear Devin Morrison off of that shit. Devin Morrison, anytime you need like that 80s kind of like, you know what I mean? That kind of little bit. Man, you got to sprinkle a little bit of Devin Morrison on that. Shout out to the homie, man. I hope you come back to kick it soon.
Did you make any notes on Make-A-Wish?
No. That, for me, that was the one that I was just like, I don't really care for this one. That's the
one. Okay, that was a hard one, but I had one small note about Make-A-Wish. That little like, did that come from SWV Always on My Mind?
Could be. That's a good pull.
I want my money if I'm right.
You come for the copyright strike?
Miss Faux, I want my money.
Yeah. Jazz Cartier is on this too. Which is dope. There's a few features. Big Crit's feature on Turning Heads is hard. That guitar, that production is so full.
I'm always happy to see Crit on stuff, man.
Yeah, throw a rack in a broke bitch face. I fuck with you, Kari Faux. But Crit, you know, I just like his voice and shit. Like, he makes some shit that's real simple sound dope to me. Yeah. Like, at one part of the verse, he just yelling, cul-de-sac, parking lot, valet line, boulevard. And I'm just like, okay, shit, cul-de-sac. Yeah, I fuck with cul-de-sacs. I don't know. Yeah, but
best place to play street football.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, she been talking to God and shit been good, man. Shout out to Kari Faux. Y'all got any more, do y'all want to go off on this?
I got a couple more. Actually, I got a whole bunch of things to say, but I'm going to keep it short, though.
I went on my little rant.
What's the track where she says, I need the space to be soft?
Oh, that's Drunk Words, Sober Thoughts.
Yeah, I thought that was, I mean, everybody needs the space to be soft.
Yeah.
And when the beat changes, and it's just like, what was it like? They keep asking me something, but I ain't got shit to say.
Yeah.
That shit is really important at the end of the day, because sometimes people just keep asking you, what's wrong? Like, dude, I'm good. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because I ain't got shit to say.
Yeah. Even if I figure it out, I might not have shit to say to your ass. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know.
That's that to me is kind of the standout track on the album. It's Drunk Words, Sober Thoughts, H-Town, and I want to say White Caprice are my three primary favorites on there. If I was going to recommend this album to somebody, depending on who it was, like, I'll recommend Drunk Words, Sober Thoughts, and then H-Town. I'm gonna play H-Town live I'm gonna play it on a big ass speakers we got at the Legacy Lounge. I got to do that. Yeah. I need. You know, that's the problem about being in Tokyo too. With a lot of southern music that is really bass heavy. We don't got whips out here. We don't got a slab out here. We don't got cars out here to really do it like that.
Yeah, music like this, I think you do need a stereo on wheels.
Word.
You need to travel with it. And some motherfucker need to get in the car with you,
right?
So they can feel it.
Yeah.
Don't touch my radio.
Yeah. You don't get the full experience if you just got a pair of flat headphones on. You know what I mean? Like, you really gotta you gotta feel the bass in your body to really get moving off of it. So, yeah. Secret House Against.
Throw a rack in my face. Like, it's been rough. It's been rough. Please help. Patreon. Secret House Against 15.
Yo, I know sticking up and like staying like level with all the kind of new nomenclature that comes to discussing different groups, whether you not supposed to say midget or the F slur or all of these things. I know one thing that I'm so sorry, but I don't think I'll ever give up is bitch. I got to say bitch about non-gender binary anything. Like I got to do that. Like and I appreciate it. And the album title is fucking hard. Real Bitches Don't Die, and she talk about her getting that knowledge kicked down by her aunt and getting that knowledge kicked down by her mom and
souls
shit
that aren't here anymore.
Yeah, and souls that aren't here anymore. So man, Real Bitches Don't Die. Yeah.
And the art cover.
Oh, the art is ill too. That's why I was like, damn, this shit a little bit more psychedelic than I thought.
And then once you listen to the song, you can see the other components in the art. You can see the dogs. You can see the white Caprice.
Yep.
I mean, if you look really closely, you can see the words in the sky through her hair.
Yep.
That shit is hard. In fact, I'm gonna play a little bit.
It's animated on Apple Music as well. It kind of pans up and down. It's kind of
they got the shit. They got your shit on Spotify too. But
there you go. Apple Music trying to get me again.
Yeah, I'll be down in H-Town. Hey, Secret House Against. Please like, subscribe, share.
Third Coast, baby.
I'll be West Coasty, but I can still. I lived in Texas for 4 years.
I've never been to any of these places.
Texas was where I was really doing a lot of my. Texas is the only place I ever shot at anybody.
Allegedly.
In Minecraft.
We passed the statute of limitations. Yeah, bro. I'm an old man now. Only burner I got is airsoft gun.